Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. And hopefully you also enjoyed my buddy Jerry's first appearance on the channel as a solo. We did a video earlier on and we spoke about the Lewis Crocker-Paddy Donovan rematch, which is now a world title, an all-Irish world title in Ireland. That's a first. So if you haven't seen that chat, pop on over and have a look, or actually I recommend a listen. A listen is probably better, particularly, I have a face that's better for radio. The afternoon of pottering around followed, and then when I was having my dinner, yes, I know, I have a dinner that's very early. I know all the old guy jokes. I watched the first press conference held in Riyadh between Canelo and Crawford. Now, this is ahead, of course, of their September the 13th fight, which is confirmed to be in Vegas, which I do think gives Canelo a little bit of a home field advantage, if that's needed. But before the two fighters got to talk, excuse me, Turki Alalshikh had a few things to say, and he was asked very directly about previously, he doesn't want any Tom and Jerry type running fights. And he reiterated it. He says he's not going to let it happen. And he's also introducing a bonus for KOs. And he was quite firm on that. He was also asked, and I'm just going to be picking in bits and pieces here, IFL and well, I think all the big ones have it up. It's easy to find. But anyhow, I'll just give you my take on a few little things. He was asked, there's rumors that the fight's going to be held during the daytime. So Turkey's like, well, who's asking? And eventually the person asking the question said, well, Oscar De La Hoya said. And Turkey said, yeah, I just wanted to say his name. Anyways, he gave an answer and he said, basically, Oscar De La Hoya is wasting my time. This is Canelo Crawford. And put it to bed. Like, obviously, it's going to be prime time. It's going to have all the bells and whistles. It's a big fight. There isn't a lot of love lost, I don't think, between Turkey and Golden Boy. I noticed actually Turkey's English is improving again. He took a question from an Australian reporter, reasonably strong Aussie accent. And I understood it, but Turkey got it straight away and gave a relatively fulsome answer. He was asked about, excuse me, frog in my throat. He was asked about why choose Netflix. And he said, there's a lot of piracy issues, and Netflix is the world's biggest platform. And he's going to show them what real boxing is. And I thought, ooh, ouch, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. That's a bit of a dig, but a very justified dig, in my opinion. He said that he'd had both fighters around for dinner, part of his Saudi hospitality. He's got this relationship with Canelo, and he said this. Crawford, since last night, this is Turkey's words, since last night, Crawford now knows what he needs to do, which I found somewhat cryptic, and of course nobody asked him what he meant. It may just have been a slip of the tongue or something. Canelo is very excited. He dismissed the William Skull nonsense. It was not a fight. When Crawford was asked, this was interesting. Crawford was asked a question along the lines of, in light of what Turki Alalshikh has said about not running, and you being the smaller man, surely you're not going to stand face to face with Canelo. And Terrance Crawford, who was very laid back, of course, said, I'm not going to let someone else tell me how to fight, but I'm not running. And he was very, deadpan about it. Canelo said, Crawford's a great fighter, but he's no Canelo. By the way, both these fighters at this press conference, consummate professionals, extreme amount of confidence on both fighters' part, zero trash talking. Just solid, elite level fighters, likely both Hall of Famers. No need to be, no need to be saying anything really. Canelo said that Crawford will, besides the fact that he's a great fighter and he's no Canelo, he will be one of the best fights I'm going to have. Crawford then said, I'm taking the belts. But he was asked about some of Canelo's previous fights. Crawford said, no, I don't want to talk about his past fights. I'm just talking about his present fight, like the fight with me. He said that anybody can be KO'd. He said Canelo is tough, durable, granite chin, which of course is true. Anybody can be knocked out, not bothered by size. Neither fighter is bothered by size. Canelo said, I'm a winner, I'm coming to win. The host tried to get them to talk about fighting in the street, as if these two multi-millionaire, elite-level sportsmen would be fighting in the street. Let's hope not, anyways. Enough of that with, was it Tyson and Mitch Green back in the day? Anyhow, Tyson on the brain now. Canelo said, he shut it down. He said, we're not here to talk about fighting in the street. We're here to talk about the beautiful sport of boxing, not the streets. I thought that was very well said. Crawford's chasing 3 times undisputed world champion. He said it's a big risk, big reward. The new Ring magazine belt was unveiled, and especially, it looked like the Lonsdale belt, but on massive doses of PEDs. To my eye, the ring on the front, big shield. Apparently cost £140,000, pounds sterling. He said it was made by a company in London that makes medals and does military stuff. But they didn't name the company, which is, if it was an oversight, they missed a great opportunity for some advertising. But I suspect that the company may not have particularly wanted a lot more business. Who knows? But apparently £140,000. I haven't done that conversion to dollars, but lots. So yeah, I thought that was an interesting start to what will be 3 press conferences. Going to have this one in Riyadh, then I'm going to have one in New York, then I'm going to have one in Vegas, then I'm going to fight in Vegas. So basically, it's going to be a summer's worth of Canelo and Crawford. But at least we've got elite level fighters. In other news, I saw more talk about AJ and Wilder and Parker Chisora 3, which you will remember was raised on this channel almost in jest a long time ago. I may have to do a separate video about it. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Oh, and subscribe to my buddy's channel, Andy's Cavern. I know this is the wrong way around. I do not bother to mirror it, but you know what it says. Anyhow, thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.